Well, he got me too.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you didn't think that was gonna happen.
So today we're here at a fair and we're set up. We've got our reptile exhibit right over here behind me and lots of really cool animals in there. And then over to my right is our snake stage, and we do reptile programs on there several times a day. But I'm about to head to the parking lot because my good friend Kyle called and said that somebody dropped off a bunch of reptiles to him because they knew that he knew us. And so this person, whoever this is, just dropped off all these containers. So he's like, well, what am I supposed to do with them? So I said, we're at the fair, bring them here. So he's in the parking lot now. I'm about to head out there, have no idea what it is. He said there's a bunch of snakes, and we're gonna see what in the world we've got now. This is Cottonmouth Kyle. You may have seen him in some of my other videos. We're usually out in the swamp catching cottonmouths, looking for alligators. But today, Kyle has driven over 2 hours with his wife and 2 kids to deliver all of these snakes. Now, one of these is not a snake, but I'll show you that in a few more minutes. Now, we got to get these through the crowd over to our exhibit.
What kind of snake is it?
There's a few of them. We're just getting these in. They just came in just now. Because we really don't know exactly what all's in here. Now, we can see some of the snakes in here and know exactly what they are because you can see them pretty well, but not all of these we can really tell what they are. So we need to get somewhere we can open them up and really take a look to see exactly what we've got. This might be a surprise, but I don't know every snake in the world, okay? How many snakes are there? 2,700? 3,000? There's a lot of snakes. Kyle only knows like 4, okay? But I know a few more than 4, but I don't know all of them. So that's the fun part, is trying to figure out what some of this stuff is, because I don't know. So we're gonna go through it and see what some of this stuff is right now. The thing about opening these boxes is you never really know what's in here. So watch your fingers.
Holy. Karate chop, man.
So what? So we know what this is. This was pretty easy right here.
Exactly what this is. Pretty corn snake.
Very pretty. He's ready to go. You know, I like getting corn snakes because, especially ones that are normal. The morphs are cool. Those are really pretty and everything. But I like showing people what you can actually find in the wild. And that's a wild type, really pretty corn snake native to the Southeast, right there. All right, you can box them up. Now, what's in here, do we know?
Yeah, I think we know what's in here. Something we are really familiar with.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know what that is.
I knew that.
He's ready to come out too. What is that, Waylon?
Alligator.
Yeah, that's an alligator. This is a juvenile American alligator, cute little guy.
He looks so
And yeah, these you definitely cannot have as pets here in Georgia. So glad we got this little fella. You know, the bad thing is when people get these and they get too big and they want to turn them loose, that's when you can have some real problems.
He's chilling in there.
You want to pet him before we put him up?
He actually can't get back up.
Okay. I'm not taking this guy here out.
But just, I want to get all of them out at once and get a big thing of snakes.
You want me to just stick my hands in? I'm not doing that.
They won't bite.
They've been striking at me the whole time.
That's because you're above them. When you get your hand below them, they won't do that.
Look at this. Can you not see them?
Yeah, there's a glare on the aquarium. It'd be better if
Look at him.
He's interested. He's just interested. He's not being aggressive.
And he'd be really interested in my fingers too.
I doubt that. Just don't pick that one up. Get the other ones up.
Well,
I guess we'll have to save these for later. So I came outside of here because you can actually see better out here. And some of these snakes, the colors on them, you really have to see in the sunlight to appreciate it. So these right here are actually Japanese rat snakes. Oh, hey fella. And they're very fast. We got 2 of these. So 2 of these came in. They're very, very pretty snakes. And you know, the color blue is a pretty rare color when it comes to reptiles. You can find it in reptiles, but it's not very common. And so these are actually Japanese rat snakes, and they're actually related to the rat snakes we have here in the United States. They're constrictors, just like our rat snakes are here in the U.S. And but these guys are just super cool because they have this blue tint, this blue color to them, and their belly, man, in the sunlight, it's actually kind of like iridescent color in the sunlight. These are really, really pretty snakes. So we're gonna keep them in this container. Try to get them back in here without them jumping out. They're very, very quick, very fast snakes. All right, hang on, fellas. All right, so Japanese rat snakes, very cool snakes. And then we have this rat snake, which is called a rat snake, but it's not like our rat snakes, and it's not really related to our rat snakes, I don't think. Maybe wrong, I don't know much about these. Now this is a diadem snake, a diadem rat snake, and they're not as friendly normally as our rat snakes are, or those Japanese rat snakes. These are very squirmy, very wiggly snakes. So these actually have a strip of tissue in their front upper lip called a Devorny's gland. And what they do with that, oh, hang on fella, it actually secretes a toxin which helps subdue their prey. And you know, it's not considered to be dangerous to people, but if it did bite you, you'd want to, you know, get it off of your finger and not just leave it there and let it chew on you. And you know, that's the same thing that's true with like hognose snakes, even garter snakes that we have in, hang on fella, I know. Even garter snakes that we have in the US, they have that Devorny's gland. So if it were to bite you and were to chew on you, and the saliva mixes with those toxins from the Devorny's gland, and it basically seeps into your skin through the bite. And over time, that you can have a reaction from it. It could be swelling, some itching. Some snakes that have more powerful toxins, it can be a more powerful reaction, but these are not considered to be dangerous to people, even though he's trying to bite me right now. So we're gonna put him back in this container. He's a cute little snake. Really beautiful head. His head is really shiny on top. Really pretty little guy. And this is the first diadem rat snake we've ever gotten in. This is not one that we see come in very often. So pretty cool little snake. Now if you'll, and we actually got, I think there's 2 of these, I think. There's one here and then one in this other container. So we got 2 Japanese rat snakes and 2 of these diadem rat snakes. Very different little snake here. Very cool though. Ow, little sucker. Well, he got me too.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you didn't think that was gonna happen.
The little diadem snake got me. They're not supposed to be dangerous to people. I guess we're gonna find out if that's true or not. Ow. Man, he's a mean little snake. He's a little grumpy snake. And we have bite number 2. No, I'm seriously not worried about it. It's just like getting bit by the garter snakes we have here in the US. nothing really to it. Next up, we have this one. This one's pretty familiar. This is a ball python. It's a little bit underweight, not too bad. And I'm not down on my morphs, but I'm pretty sure this is a spider ball python. And I know there's been talk in the reptile community about people breeding this morph. It's called a spider just because of the pattern on it, but it's a ball python. You know, ball pythons don't get very big, but I heard there was a genetic issue breeding this color morph because it would have a head wobble. His head would kind of wobble around. So this one doesn't seem to have that, which is a very good thing, but a very pretty snake. So this is one that we'll probably end up keeping just because this is a good snake to introduce kids to. So, you know, we're doing programs, a lot of kids, they want to hold their first snake. Of course, they can bite just like any other snake, but these are pretty reluctant to bite. And usually if they do bite, it's normally because of a feeding response. But this is a really good snake to introduce kids to, so we'll probably hang on to this one. So loading these snakes up a while ago in all these containers, and these are not my containers. Whoever had these snakes, I guess, went and bought these to put the snakes in, and they just came in, they were all stacked up. And I went to get the corn snake out of here. He's gone. But the good news is, I think I know where he is. He got loose in the stage trailer right here, and this is sealed up really tight. He can't get out of here. So somewhere in that stage is a corn snake. And my mission today, in between doing my stage shows here at this fair, is to locate the corn snake inside my stage. I hope to locate the corn snake inside my stage. And the rest of these are about to get taped up, and so we don't have any more escapes because not an ideal situation here, okay? All right, and next we have these two little snakes. So these are actually pretty cool snakes. They're very fast, so I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna have to get both of them out because I don't want one to get loose. Okay, here we go. That's not too bad. That was kind of easy. Okay, so these are red-sided garter snakes, and they're native to like the Midwest, I think, up into Canada, I believe. Very cool little snakes. You know, garter snakes are pretty special to me because the eastern garter snake is the first snake I ever caught when I was a kid, 7 years old. First snake I ever got bit by was a garter snake. Now, remember the diadem rat snake I was telling you about a while ago? And now it has a Devorney's gland, that strip of tissue. Well, so do these guys. So these are not constrictors. And so the way they kill their prey is they just grab whatever they're eating. And in the wild, these snakes pretty much only eat fish and amphibians. And so they're semi-aquatic. They like to hang around water sometimes, but you can find these guys, of course, long distances from water, but they'll eat frogs and toads and fish, things, you know, tadpoles, things like that. And one thing that helps them subdue their prey is when they grab their food, because they're not constrictors, they will actually use their teeth, bite the prey. Their saliva mixes with that toxin from the Devorney's gland, and then that seeps into the prey item and helps subdue it. But these guys are not considered dangerous to us. If one of these snakes did bite me, it wouldn't really be anything to it. But if it bit me and started to chew on one of my fingers and got a lot of saliva and those toxins from the Devorney's gland into my finger, then I could have a reaction from that. It might get really red, it might itch a little bit, and it might actually swell a little. So if you do get bit by one, you don't want to just say, oh, look, it's biting me, and just let it bite you. If you can, gently pull them off of your finger, and you'll have a little bit better day if you do that. But these guys are normally not too bad, and even wild caught garter snakes are pretty cool snakes. This is actually a really cute, a very feisty American alligator. So this little gator, oh man, this is a really cute gator too. Isn't he just adorable? I love alligators. This little guy, somebody had him illegally because in Georgia you can't have a pet alligator. One thing we have to do is we have to notify the state that, hey, someone dropped off an alligator, because this actually has to be added to our inventory. So we can't just take in alligators, you know, all nilly-willy, you know, taking in gators. You know, we have to report this to the state to be able to keep in good standing with our licenses that we have. But the good thing about this is that the gator was turned over to us. The problem is when people have alligators as pets, and you know, you got a pet, you're taking care of it, you're feeding it, and it's nice and healthy, then it gets too big and you turn it loose. That's when the problems start, because when you feed alligators, you're basically teaching this gator that people are food, okay? And that's when you can have alligator attacks. You know, a lot of these alligator attacks you see in the news, a lot of those are usually because at some point that gator was probably fed by people. That's why it's illegal to feed alligators, because, you know, that when you feed them, like I said, you're teaching it people are food. And then, I mean, that's, you know, you're basically killing the gator, because when the state gets called in, and they call me to go catch a gator, because I'm an alligator agent, and so basically I'm a contractor where we go out under contract for the state to catch nuisance alligators. Here's the problem: when I go catch a nuisance alligator, if it's an alligator that has been fed by somebody, I can't relocate that gator. And there's a few places around the country that'll take alligators, but they get full pretty quick. So it's kind of hard, it's very hard to find a facility that will take an adult alligator. So those gators unfortunately have to be euthanized and put down. So this alligator right here can never be released to the wild, even though somebody very well could have caught it from the wild, but because it's been fed for a while, we can't just go turn this little guy loose. So we're gonna have to keep him. And then as he gets bigger, you know, we'll have to make accommodations there. We do have some big alligators. Our biggest one right now, haven't measured him in a few years. The last time I measured him, he was about 8.5 foot long, but that was a few years ago. So I suspect he may be getting close to around 9 foot now. So this little gator's got some growing to do, but this is our American alligator, really cute little guy too. And so we'll keep him, we'll use him for education and show kids and adults alike just how awesome alligators are. All right, so of all the snakes that were dropped off, this is the only true venomous snake. This one actually has fangs, traditional snake fangs and venom. This is a rattlesnake. This is a pygmy rattlesnake. And this is an adult, but it'll get a little bit bigger, not very much. He's pretty small. Now, I've been bit today 5 or 6 times by non-venomous snakes. Nothing venomous, that's why I'm using a hook with this one. This is one you do not want to get bit by. Probably won't kill you. This is a really bad bite from this tiny snake. This one's a little underweight, it's a little thin, but I think if we can get it eating, it should be just fine. All right, so these snakes I'm about to get out, I'm gonna use a hook for. Even though they're not venomous, I don't want to just pick them up and hold them with my bare hands. They're not the friendliest. And here it is. So this is a pile of Amazon tree boas. And and when I mean a pile of snakes, I mean that is a pile of snakes right there. I don't even know how many this is. It'd probably be a good idea to count them. So let's count heads here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I count 6 heads. Now, they're being kind of docile. Oh, no, we're losing snakes. Let me get these 2. Oh, okay, never mind, they're not being docile. So these are not snakes you want to get. Keith, come over here for just a second. Just stand by, just in case. Yeah, grab that one. I was trying to count them. I was thinking, don't go over there. Okay, so here, Okay, so, oh, there we go. So these snakes have pretty big teeth because they hunt in trees and they hunt for birds. And so they have to have pretty big teeth to get, he's in my hand. Hang on, it's okay, it's okay. So they have to have pretty big teeth to be able to get through the feathers. I got him. Thank you, Keith. Of the birds that they're hunting. Now, so these are not the type of boa constrictor you don't want to get if you're wanting to have a pet snake you can handle. I'm sure some Amazon tree boas are docile and you can handle them. This group right here is not one of those. So we're gonna adopt these things out to an experienced keeper, somebody that knows what they're doing with them. And these would be cool like in a big setup somewhere where they have plenty of room to climb and all that, but definitely not really, please don't bite my face. Don't bite him either. No, don't bite him. Okay, I'm gonna put these guys up. Not fun. Here, go over there on that side and just film them a little bit where I can get them in the sun. Oh, that one, I felt that one. That one was a good bite. Okay. Okay. Keith, hurry and get some footage so I can put these things up. Not friendly. They're pretty snakes. They're really cool looking. You know, I'd like to stretch one of them out if he'd let me, let you see how long their skinny tails are. They're really, really long, skinny snakes that are really good at climbing, but their big teeth are specialized for grabbing a hold of birds and grabbing into those feathers and being able to get them down. So really, really long, very, very skinny, but that's how they're supposed to be. So these are just by nature long and skinny. Ow, 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 ow. Look at that. Oh, there's another one. Ow. Okay, that's enough snake. All right. Just in case y'all are wondering, this is not the show. Somebody dropped off an alligator, a lizard, a dozen or 15 snakes. So we're just going through them, seeing what they are. These are not friendly. We just figured that out. The aftermath of Amazon tree boas, not a snake you want to just cuddle with, I'm assuming. So we're going to put these guys back in their enclosure and find them an experienced keeper that wants these things, because I don't really want these. Remember the missing corn snake? Well, I looked everywhere in the stage. I finally decided to go and remove the cover off of this chair, and wouldn't you know it, right there tucked in the cushion is the corn snake. Now, as soon as I reach out and grab him, he tries to take off down into the chair, and I can't just pull him out because he's holding on really good, but I will keep steady pressure on him until the snake decides to let go of its grip in the chair, and he just slides right out. I'm so glad I found the snake. Nothing wears the color orange better than a corn snake. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous snake. My favorite part of the corn snake? The belly, that black and white checkered pattern. Man, and you know the cool thing is, every little piece of design and speck on the snake is unique to this snake. There's not another one like it anywhere else in the world.